flew to Cairo and then flew over to Cairo and saw the pyramids and stuff. And then from that, we were like, okay, this is actually sick. And we just flew to like really famous locations around the world and just flew around them. So it was really cool.
Is it like true scale? Or I mean, I presume you can. There's an option for true scale.
It's like it uses satellite images.
Yeah, so like it has real-time projections like, too. You can see like there's cars on the road. Like it literally looks like you're actually flying in.
Yeah, like everything's like moving one-to-one exact.
Yeah, cars move.
No
really
shit,
cool.
that is wild.
I would literally fly by, see your house and shit.
I had a sus like looking at it, but the one thing that I'm waiting for, and that's apparently a couple of months off, is VR support. I want to get like,
that'd be
I'll
sick.
probably end up buying the joystick, and as soon as there's VR support, I'll get the game, and then I'm just gonna load in.
This episode is brought to you by Hawthorne. Hawthorne is a premium men's grooming brand that offers high-quality, tailored cologne. It starts with a quick quiz with questions like, what's your drink of choice? Beer, whiskey, wine, or a cocktail? It's really easy. Then they take your answers and give you a tailored set of cologne, one for work and one for play, made with natural ingredients by award-winning product creators. They'll also curate a set of other grooming products, like skincare essentials, plus shampoo and conditioner. Hawthorne provides free shipping on both deliveries and returns. If you don't like your cologne, they'll even retailer it for you. Check out Hawthorne at hawthorne.co. That's Hawthorne with an E. And use the code GAMES to get 10% off your first purchase. That's HAWTHORNE.co. And use the code GAMES to get 10% off your purchase. Hawthorne.co.
This episode is brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration. Driving drunk is not a game. If you disagree, then just look at the stats. Every day, nearly 30
settings
and even lose your job. So, how do you prevent drunk driving? Have a plan before you start drinking. If you need a ride, designate a sober driver or call a rideshare. If someone you know has been drinking, take their keys and arrange for safe transportation. Be smart. Drive sober or get pulled over.
So it's a proper simulator. You're actually learning how to fly these aircraft, right?
Yeah. I mean, you can kind of choose your settings. They've made it very approachable. If you want it to be approachable, and then if you want it to be straight up simulatory, then you do. Like you can turn everything off. But I was flying a 747 over Berlin, and I accidentally turned off one of the engines, and then I spent the next 15 minutes slowly floating down, talking to my chat, like, how the fuck do I turn the engines back on? Looking through the interior, all these buttons, and I couldn't figure out which one turned the engines on.
Right.
But yeah, so if you do, want that, it's really simulatory.
Yeah, I definitely want to try just learning blind and have chat teach me how to fly like a Cessna and then how to fly like a jet.
Where's fucking Twitch plays? Microsoft Flight Simulator. That's what I want to see, where they have the Twitch chat, have to put in all the inputs and everything. See if they can take a plane off and land it and everything.
That's a cool idea.
That'd be kind of cool.
They already beat Pokemon how many times now? All right, Twitch chat. There you go. Get on that. Fucking fly a 747 or some shit.
Haven't they done that Twitch chat plays for Jump King as well?
I think so.
I don't know if they have. I don't know how that would be possible because the game's all about holding down keys for a certain period of time. But that would be very interesting.
God, all I know is I was gonna say all I know is if fucking 4chan does it, it'd probably crash into the trade center or some shit like that. Knowing them,
yeah, with the flight simulator,
that'd be the 4chan doing it.
They'd immediately take over and create another live and in-flight sim. I mean,
that is the joke you get the most. People come into chat and they're like, "You should fly a 737, or you should visit New York." Winky face. It's like, all right, literally everyone's saying that, mate. One, it's not funny, and two, it's so unoriginal.
You should fly over Russia, bro.
Yeah, dude, fly over the Iraq-Iran border.
You can fly into North Korea.
Hey, dude, you can fly into North Korea. They should totally make it so that missile locking engaged, and then you have to dodge missiles to be able to land.
It'd be real. I wish there were fighter jets in it and stuff.
Yes,
it's all
oh my god, that would be sick.
It's all
if you're over airspace, you shouldn't be on the jets will be deployed and they'll escort you out. That could be fucking really
just
cool.
Just a comically large fleet of Korean planes just starts popping up behind you, but they're really old school planes with the Gatling guns on the front. and they're like angry, it's like chasing you out of that boundaries. Can you? Are there helicopters in the game?
Not yet. I wish there were helicopters because I love
Yeah,
helicopters.
you actually know how to fly a helicopter, don't you, Tony?
Yeah.
Have we ever talked about this on the podcast? The fact that you have piloting experience, that you've actually flown a helicopter?
I think we probably
I forgot
have.
about that. I forgot about that.
It was
That's
just a
pretty
small
crazy.
helicopter. I reckon if I had to, I could fly a helicopter, but I couldn't start it. I have no idea how to start it because aircrafts are always like, oh yeah, you need to do this, you know. But if we were like, you know, if in a pinch we really needed a helicopter for some reason, like in the apocalypse,
There's a helicopter and it's already started.
like in the apocalypse or something,
Yeah,
then yeah, I reckon I could do
it's
it.
a fucking crazy situation. We're getting like chased by the Russian mafia. There's a helicopter about to take off. The driver's been shot. We get in with a stack of cash. You're like,
Why are we in with the Russian mafia? What the fuck happened?
don't ask questions, man.
Matt, we've been in with the Russian mafia, okay? It's been this way since the beginning. How do you think we get our fucking funding? We couldn't have done any of this without the Russian mob, all right? And we don't want to make them angry, guys, so just keep it low key, okay? I'm serious.
My lips are
Good.
sealed.
It's very
Guys,
fun though.
Yeah.
Russia's developed a vaccine and it works 100%. Yes. Sorry.
If you guys could learn one skill like instantly, what would it be?
99 woodcutting.
That was fast.
Or are we talking about real life?
I'm in real life.
Okay.
Woodcutting is one of the most
All right.
frustrating ones to get out of the way.
So like
Yeah.
you could instantly know how to speak Mandarin overnight or know how to play guitar
Is it-
perfectly or something
Could it
like
be
that.
like? Could it be like? I'd probably go for like all instruments, like being able to like be a prodigy at all music instruments. I'd probably go for that.
My
Probably
skill
yeah.
is
go, like,
if
okay.
if
I
do
said one skill. That seems like multiple, but that's okay.
No, that's the trick. The one skill is learn anything you do in an hour flat.
All
So then you
right.
can do
What a
every fucking
skill.
instrument and all that shit.
Come on.
That's like
What a
asking
skill.
the
Kinda
for more
cheating.
wishes. I know. I'm gonna be
It's
that guy
an
right
array
now.
of skins. Skills rather.
It'd
I don't
probably
know. I'd
be
probably do music, something like that.
Yeah, I would do
do
music
something
as well.
musically. Yeah.
Wait, what did
That's
you
so
say,
hard
Matt?
to pick up.
I said that you learn any skill or anything
Oh,
you want to
yeah,
do
okay.
in like an hour flat.
Do you have an
No,
actual
but like,
answer?
what's your
Fuck,
actual
I
answer?
don't know.
You don't know?
Alright, fair.
Nothing you'd really want to be good at?
I don't know.
Yeah, neither.
Not like if I had to do it, like it takes more thought than just like a musical instrument or some shit. I don't know.
True.
Do you guys know of
Alright.
Entropia?
Know of what?
Mm.
Entropia. It's a
Entropia.
MMO.
Mm-mm.
No, never heard
It's-
of that.
So basically, they call themselves the world's first cash-based MMO. And
Oh,
you're like,
that's
you're
fun.
like, what the fuck is that? And
That just sounds
basically
like
what
the
it
stock
is
market. What the fuck?
is you can just like buy everything that you want in the game is like bought with the like Entropia bucks or something. But
E-bucks.
you get those bucks by like spending money. But
Right.
everything you kill has a chance to drop items which are then worth that money. So it's like this
It's real
full
money.
MMO, this whole game, yeah, where you can like go out and mine and like get minerals or resources or whatever, and then you can sell those resources for like actual money. It's
Is it based on
really-
crypto or what?
I don't know exactly, but it's like it's this really weird system. But like you can play for free, but it's really shit and you make like no money, or you can put money in hopes that you get more money out. So
It's
like
gotta
you'll
be
bet
gamble.
you'll spend $10 on items, use those items till they're destroyed, and hope that you made $11 in stuff back. But
Right.
obviously there's like a slight house
this
edge.
game was released in 2003.
Yeah, so
What?
it's been around for ages. It's still around, and it's still a big thing. And
Bro,
the
that just sounds
reason
like Counter-Strike with skins.
the reason it's a big thing is because obviously people love gambling and they feel like they're not gambling in that game because it doesn't feel like a gambling thing.
Right.
But the reason it like blew up initially was because they did a like multi-month long auction for
The planet.
a planet. I think it was a planet.
What
yeah.
the fuck?
I watched a
and-
video on this.
Okay, no, actually, the first thing wasn't a planet. The first thing was like a shopping mall or something, and they ended up selling it for $24,000, which set a precedent that in that game there's like these virtual properties you can buy, and it's like buying stocks at a casino. It's really
like real
weird.
real estate.
Yeah, so it's like you can
estate.
go to this real estate, and people that do go hunting and stuff on your property, you get a percentage of any of the loot that they get on while they're hunting, which
So it's
means
just
you
open
actually
land.
make money. So yeah, this guy won this auction. He got this thing for 24 grand, and then like a year later, it was worth 100,000 or something.
Yeah.
And eventually,
Wow.
through that, they started selling more and more stuff, and they
Jesus.
sold a whole planet. So anyone that was doing anything on the entire planet, the person the owner made money from, and the planet sold for $6 million US.
Like
Fuck
actual
off.
money.
Mm-hmm.
What
Yeah.
the fuck?
Bro.
Can you? Okay, please tell me you can at least sell these items like in
Yeah,
CS.
no, you can
Yeah,
sell
yeah, you can
everything.
CS where you can get
withdraw.
real money out.
Yeah,
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 no,
yeah.
so
You withdraw it from a
everything-
bank account.
Everything is value. So it's like, yeah, you buy $10 worth of the box, and that's $10, right?
Yeah.
In game and out of game. I guess it's like equivalent. I don't know. It might be 100 gets you $10 or whatever.
Yeah.
But and then you can withdraw anything that you make. So it's literally the entire premise of the game is gambling. They call it a skill-based MMO, but it's very clearly just a gambling MMO, and it's so like fascinating. But yeah, people
Interesting.
have genuinely invested millions of dollars. Oh, and there's like the top tier level players that will invest fuckloads of money and get fuckloads of money out. And the way they flex on other players is by talking about how much money they cycle. So they'll be like, yeah, I spent 10 million bucks this year. I cycled 10 million bucks, which basically means they made so much money that they were comfortable spending $10 million on the game and still making money from it.
What the
Holy
fuck?
shit.
Yeah.
Fuck.
It's like this
Does it-
bizarre game.
Does it have like a voice interaction or anything? Kind of like
I don't know,
I'm
actually.
imagining it like Secret Life. Is that what it's
Like,
called?
yeah.
Second Life.
Second Life.
Second
Yeah,
Life.
I,
Yeah.
I mean,
I wish
think
if
it
you
was like
looked
that.
at it,
Second
I think
Life,
if you
but
looked at
gambling.
it would just look like a basic MMO. Like you go out, you hunt mobs, and then you go back, you do quests, whatever. But
No way.
there's just this weird underlying thing of everything in the game has real life monetary value.
That is
It's
interesting.
like RuneScape GP. Like I think it was Venezuela that was having
Oh,
like
yeah,
a
yeah.
giant financial crisis, and we might have touched on this before. But the RuneScape GP was more stable and was worth more than like the Venezuelan bolivar for like a couple of months. Maybe it still might be. I'm not sure.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
And then there were actual Venezuelans that were like making bot accounts or even just like playing normally and going out into the wildy to kill green dragons to get the hide and then sell the hide for GP so that they could trade it to real world traders and then they could get money to feed their families. Like that was like
Insane.
their avenue for doing
Insane.
it.
It's
was through
basically
fucking
just like
gold
they're able
coins.
to work in a foreign country.
Yeah.
You know,
What
it's like
happens if they
they
get
just
into
log
the
into this
wilderness?
different,
What the
Well, that's the thing.
log into a
fucking
different
thing-
economy, make their money there, and then sell it for
The
their
thing that
own
was so
currency.
weird was like the RuneScape community could have a tendency to be really toxic, and so there were like clans and shit that were meant to go out and kill Venezuelans that were like
Oh, no.
killing the green dragons. Because the way that they saw it is that they were protecting their game from people engaging in like real world trading, which destroys the game's economy, et cetera, et cetera.
Plus, there are a lot
They
of
didn't give a
bots.
fuck.
I swear we have talked about this
I think we
like,
did, yeah. we
at
did.
least 3 times on the podcast.
No, we have
No, we've
not.
We talked about it
before.
on,
We have.
on Austin's
Have we?
Maybe
podcast,
once,
yeah.
Raj's. I definitely remember
did
talking about it
we?
on Raj's podcast.
Oh, yeah, we did.
Yeah,
We did.
yeah.
It was Roger's big. Austin's big into
Hey guys,
RuneScape.
we're out of content.
I
It's okay.
only know that because there's no way I would have known about it other than talking about it on the podcast.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think I've seen a video about it, but yeah, you're probably right. Oh well, that's okay.
I
Yeah, we
just
really
remember one
outscripted
other
them.
thing about that weird MMO though. It's that companies buy planets and then apparently they develop the game on that planet. So it's like you develop your own game on the planet and you're buying into it's weird.
What?
So it's like you want to develop a game. So you go, all right, I'm going to buy a planet in Entropia, develop my own MMO there, and then it's part of the Entropia game, except it's my own game. So if someone goes to your planet, they play your game, and then you make money from it that way. So
But
it's like
but
getting an
your
instant
game is
player
just
base,
Entropia?
part of their game. It's like
Okay,
in
but
their
like
game now.
But like the visuals, the style is all the same because
The
it's using
styles are the same,
Entropia.
yeah, but it's just like a slightly different game.
Like
Like
a
Lemmy
different
from
curve
Motorhead has a
and-
planet, and it's just like Rockstar themed bad guys and stuff.
Oh.
It's really weird.
I'm looking at images of it now. This is very.
The game looks shit too.
Wait, what's the name of this? I gotta see this.
It looks like they tried to make RuneScape look realistic. You know, like it doesn't have the same charisma to it, but it's it's just low res and
it's so strange.
That's
it's
crazy.
the kind of thing that it kind of seems like it maybe shouldn't be legal, but at the same time, because it's like its own thing, nobody probably. I feel like no one really cares about it or even really knows about it. It's really
Why
weird.
would it be illegal? Who cares?
Because it kind of just seems like a casino.
It's not really gambling though, is it? Because it's not like they're putting something in, and then there's like their own skill that would attribute to like getting
systems, bro.
I mean, it's like really stretching whether or not it would be considered gambling, because you don't have to put money in, do you? Like you can play for free and not have to put money in.
Yeah, but I think the amount of
it's just a job. It's just a job, but your paycheck isn't guaranteed.
Yeah,
right.
It's a thing where the amount of money you put in directly contributes to the amount of money you get out.
Right.
Have you guys played Spore? Did everyone grow up playing Spore at all?
Yeah, I like
Spore.
Spore.
Photos of it.
I wish that Spore would have a remake. You know, how good was that game?
Yeah,
that game was so fun.
really
fun. Holy shit. Do you know what it is?
I always loved the idea.
I know what it is, yeah. I never played it, but I always wanted to.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like we need a good game where you can make your own creature and society and shit. I actually kind of want to replay it now, although that game was old as fuck, right?
Yeah,
that sort of stuff. That sort of stuff is why streaming is great. Because you're like, I want to replay an old game, and you're like, oh, there'll be a bunch of other people that also have that nostalgia, and they'll want to watch me replay it.
I feel like I've
played some Spore.
Yeah, I feel like I've
Spore on
tried
stream, bro.
I feel like I've tried to play Spore again, like within the last 5 years, and I remember it not aging well. But
it hasn't aged well at all.
Surely be funny. There's probably mods for it too.
Probably.
Probably decent.
I had an interesting theory. Well, not theory, but like an interesting thought at the end of the last podcast. But I didn't bring it up because we were kind of at the end, and I was like, it could be a big conversation. I don't know. But I was like, I wonder how much of the stuff that people like. We talk on the podcast about a bunch of stuff. We're like, oh, did you know that this is a thing and this. And I was thinking about how much of that is could be fake just because it's something that we, read online or whatever. And then it turns out it's just not true at all. Or like we misunderstand it. And it made me think about like how much of what people believe and is just like common knowledge just is completely wrong because of the internet.
You remember how as a kid, your parents would... You remember how as a kid your parents would tell you things like, eat carrots because it'll make your eyesight better or blah, blah, blah. Just like old wives' tales. The internet is full today of so many old wives' tales that just don't add up at all. Or even just, especially about things like news and stuff. And I'm guilty of this, just reading headlines and not getting into the article. Or the article just being complete bullshit. Like
fake news.
Fake news. That's right. As big of a meme as it is, it's fucking a serious problem. And you see it all the time just on the internet in general, even for just things like viral videos or especially viral videos of people doing things that other people don't like. And this kind of outrage culture and this idea of watching like an 8 to 10 second clip of someone like, that doesn't put someone in a good light. And then everyone just being like, fuck this piece of shit person. And like, weird. It's weird how many comments there are under videos like that, just venting. Like just getting out anger to like wards of random people doing things that upset them, I couldn't imagine leaving a comment on that kind of shit. It seems so odd to me, but
have you seen Critical's new video called like the longest hate comment thread on YouTube? And it was like 500 replies to one comment on a Paper Mario like final boss song.
And the top comment is something completely innocuous. Like, I like dogs, smiley face.
No, it was the guy, some guy said, I don't care if I get hate for this, but this is my favorite song in Paper Mario, all the games. And then it was underneath 500 replies of hate and discussion. And then it just didn't even take into account the song anymore. Like the context was just like shitting on the guy who wasn't apologizing to this dude, and it was just so people with like no time on their hands. Like, how do you invest
They got
hours? It was like over 4 months. It was like an argument over 4 months. Like, how do you keep going back? How do you not just fucking exit out of it and turn it off?
Just
Like, how do
wake
you
up,
have
you
to
check YouTube, you're like,
keep
oh boy, I
coming
hope
back,
you replied again.
writing essays every day? Like, how is it that tilting?
It's
like,
not that tilting. They relish it. They love it.
I guess, man. I don't know
They
how
love
like
it.
people can get like that angry over the internet. Like, I remember reading a fucking I remember reading this fucking this article. It was like this story that some kid, some like young kid was like 15 to 16 or whatever, was shit talking this guy on Counter-Strike, and he kept knifing him, and it was really pissing this guy off. And this guy spent months after that game tracking down this guy, and then he went to his house and stabbed him with a real knife when he knocked on
yeah,
the
I
door and
remember
opened
that.
it. Like,
That is an
How
unfortunate guy
fucked
to
up.
run into.
right? Like,
Yeah.
I don't know how like some people get so like sucked in to the internet. How people get like so like their entire persona, like their entire being is all online. So if something happens online, like that's their life. Like it's always fucking mystified me.
I mean, it's probably that same thing. I mean, a lot of people find escape in the internet, and they find it, so they spend a lot of time on forums, or they get involved in communities and things like that, or fandoms or anything, right? And then it just becomes a piece of their identity. In fact, like if they really use the internet to hide, it becomes pretty much their entire identity at times, because that's what you're associating with. That's your community. That's like your tribe is this strange online culture, or this like weird fandom surrounding one particular thing. And so this is now who you are. Like, this is the thing that you ride and die by. The Twilight Saga. I'm so excited about Twilight. I fucking love it. And anyone who disses Twilight, I'm gonna go in on these motherfuckers.
Yeah.
Twilight is my homie.
And then there's Team Edward, and then there's Team Jacob, and then they split up into other tribes in their big tribe. And then there's Inner War. Like, I don't know, man.
It's
I
literally
see
just like that.
fandoms.
It's that like primal human community thing, but just
We're
like
better.
fucked up on the internet.
That side is fucked. Fuck these guys. This is my take. I have the best take. Your take is shit. No, your take is shit. And it's just fucking.
Oh, you know what my go-to rule for that is like when you're trying to like, you know how there's always like fanboys for like this console or like Apple and Android and shit. Is like whenever you're trying to decide which one to get, just look at which one has like the louder, annoying fan base and just go with the other one.
I mean,
It's
not
usually like
necessarily.
the right decision 9 times out of 10. I'm telling you.
Yeah, but to do so, you have to pay attention to the loud, annoying fan bases. I don't know.
I think that's the problem, isn't it?
Everything has like some kind of attention attached to on the internet these days. There's communities for fucking everything. There's probably people passionate about fucking potato. I don't fucking know. Like people gravitate towards the strangest things, and there's basically a little nest you can make for yourself at any corner of the internet. There's always going to be fuckwits in that nest.
You know what I'm passionate about?
What?
Gamersubs. Gamersubs.gg. Use code Misfits for 10% off. This shit slaps. It's for the fucking best.
Can you slap
It's kept
it
me
right
going
now?
the entire day.
Slap it across the room. No, give it a hard slap, like across the room.
Oh,
Slap it through the doorway.
I drank this. I can't, dude.
I don't slap it.
Only if you buy a tub of Gamersubs,
Okay, I'll
man.
buy one.
Only if you
Slap
buy-
it through that fucking doorway. That was a
Oh,
pussy slap. Why
wow.
don't you like?
I'm not
Oh,
gonna
that's big.
get up and grab the fucking thing and put it back here so I could
You should
slap
have
it
done
again,
a good
man.
slap in the first place.
Oh,
Alrighty, guys,
fuck
visit
off.
gamersubs.gg code Misfits.
Wow, the beginning of 1,000 reply hate thread has begun with Matt criticizing Swagger's slap. Leave your thoughts in the comments below as to whether that was a pussy slap or not. I hope there's a heated debate. I don't know. That being said, I don't think there's anything necessarily wrong with finding shelter in the internet or getting involved in communities and stuff. Like, it's not inherently a bad thing. I just think that it tends to get obsessive with certain individuals. And you should be very careful that you're not finding yourself occupied and passionately invested in an argument that really doesn't contribute to the overall quality of your life. You know, like if that's the case, you might want to take a look at the world outside a little bit and think about what else you could get invested in. But yeah, I mean, if you want to fucking be passionate about something and talk about it in threads, just, go ahead. I personally just can't relate.
What I was like talking about at the start was like, if I watch a YouTube video on something like Science-y or whatever, and it seems like, it's got like good production and they're very concise and it sounds like, oh yeah, that's right. Then I'm going to hear that and I'm going to go, oh, that's really interesting, you know, and I'm going to tell other
believe it.
people about that, or I'm going to talk about it on the podcast or whatever.
That's what I do.
Yeah. And then I'm like, well, and then I was thinking about it last night, and I mean, the other week, and I was like, you know, I have no way of knowing that whether like 90% of the bullshit I'm spouting is fucking true. It's just
same
like
here.
general consensus. Like, imagine if it came out that Vsauce was false on everything he said. And just nobody knew for that.
Huge
He's like, hey
debunking
guys, this
video.
has been the longest running social experiment we've been testing on this channel.
Obviously, I'm not at all suggesting that. Don't,
Oh, well, of
don't
course
come
not.
at
Of
me and be
course.
like,
Yeah.
Vsauce is
No,
so
like-
true. Vsauce, I love Vsauce.
Yeah, all of Michael's videos are like well researched, and it's always like usually math based, so he usually like proves the theories.
But yeah,
But
but just imagine
How many?
if it was just
like,
all
okay,
bullshit.
so there is a wealth of knowledge out there, right? And there are so many things that are known, but how many sources are there really? Like how many times is the information actually coming from the source, and how
Yeah.
many sources are there for each individual criteria, every little field of knowledge?
Exactly.
And most things that you know have come from somewhere way down the river of knowledge, not from
Yeah.
the source whatsoever, which is
Yeah.
a very curious thing.
It's
And I
like a game
mean,
of telephone.
yeah, basically, yeah.
I think
Facts
it's
get
just
distorted.
I think the internet's
Just
just one
tossed
big
it.
shallow puddle at this point.
Shallow.
Nah, shit goes
It's
pretty
just
deep,
a big
man.
shallow puddle. That's
Shit
all it
goes
is. It's all just
fucking deep,
mixed together.
bro.
You don't know what's what.
The internet is, well, you mean it's vast but shallow.
Yeah, you're just like,
I
oh, it's
don't
like a
know.
big stream. Where's the source? I'm like, bro, it's just this
No,
little
I-
puddle now.
I think the internet is a deep fucking ocean, but most people swim on the surface.
It's a
Most
fucking
people-
whirlpool.
I mean,
Will
where
suck
you, would
you
s-
in.
where you would see it a lot actually is the difference between what a doctor that's like 60 years old would say and a doctor that just got their medical degree would say. Like
Mhm.
they would both have been taught completely different things. They both practice medicine. They both make people better, but they both do things completely differently because
Mhm.
of how much shit progresses and how much shit changes, how much
and
facts
its
are
experience in
proven
general.
wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
so interesting.
And you never really know who you're listening to on a thread or a fucking
Or a
tweet,
podcast.
whatever. Who the
Yeah.
fuck these cunts are? We are like all in our early 20s. We are
Yeah.
literally nothing. Like
I'm-
we're gonna
I'm
look back on this
32.
when we're. Oh yeah, Swag is 32. Obviously, goes without saying. But you know, we're gonna look back and be like, "Holy fuck, we were such retards when we were 20." Can you believe we had a
Yeah.
show? Like, what the fuck
Yeah.
were we thinking? Not that we ever really try and like teach anyone anything on the show. We just sort of express our own experiences.
I
but-
do think it's
I
important
just-
to think about the fact that we, at the end of the day, are just a bunch of like gamers that kind of hang out on the internet, and you know, we don't
Yeah.
necessarily know that everything we're saying is true.
And if you're listening to this, you're probably the exact fucking same. To be honest with you.
Exactly.
Question everything. Question absolutely everything.
The very
Whatever
fabric of
you
your
hear,
reality.
whatever you see, question it.
Yes,
Watch
That's
I
my
trust you.
advice. Exactly, man.
you're asking the right questions, man. It's a good start.
There you go.
It's a good start.
That's the spirit.
Yep. Yeah, no, but you're right, Toby. It's very interesting. There's fucking you never really
Yeah.
know if what you're reading's true, and there's so much that we probably think is true but isn't.
Yeah.
Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah. I mean,
You know,
I
I
know
think it's
that
true.
most of my shit's probably bullshit. Because I
Yeah.
just hear shit on YouTube and believe it.
Yeah, I probably
Yeah.
misquote actual science all the time. I'm probably so wrong on so many things. I don't know, man. I just
I know
talk
I
shit.
do it.
I just shoot shit.
The reason I think the big reason why that has come into my head recently is because I've recently started hanging out with someone who's in the process of getting a PhD, and they'll say something and they'll be like, yeah, but also no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just calling you out a lot. You mean on the
Yeah,
shit you
they're
say?
like,
Yeah.
look, I get what you're saying, but that is just not true. And
and
it's-
you're a
it's
dumb
really-
idiot,
that's kinda
and
cool.
I have a
I
PhD.
like
and fuck
getting-
you.
I like getting called out for when I'm wrong in a polite way. Like,
Yeah.
hey, like that, you're on the right track, but this is actually the way it is. Because then I'm like, oh, cool.
Yeah.
Well, now I know.
Yeah.
Now I know to parrot the right information to people that might
For
be
sure.
interested.
And if you are a commenter and you hear something that you think is incorrect, it would do you well to correct the person politely and not leave a hate comment filled with venomous language. Okay.
yeah, don't
Sorry,
be
just-
gatekeepers, you cunts.
Just had to tell you off real quick because it's not on, is it,
It's
guys?
not
It's
okay.
Not on. It's
No.
not on.
Fix it up quick smart. Come on.
Come on, guys. Cut the crap. All right. Get it together. You guys' parents ever say that a lot? Cut the crap. My dad used to say that all the time. Anyway,
Hey, we was knock it off.
Okay, which
Knock
one of
it
the
off.
misfits do you think would be most likely to become a school principal?
I thought you were gonna say school shooter. No, I was gonna say fucking Swagger Souls for sure. Look at that mosque.
I think Swagger. Or maybe
I-
Jay. I could
Andy loves
imagine Jay
guns.
as a principal.
Oh,
As a
thought you-
principal?
I said
Like
instead.
obviously, like
What the
you know,
fuck?
way further down the track. But like I could imagine maybe a grown-up Jay as a principal of a school.
I could see him being like a
These kids are
principal for like an
trash.
elementary school, you know,
Yeah.
where he's like that fun, like kind of goofy principal. He's like,
Yeah,
"Oh."
he's like, hey, you
How
got
to get this
attention,
job.
and then he does the L.
Yeah, he's very up to date with the Fortnite dances.
Yeah.
He knows what's hip. I don't know. I mean, I could be a principal, surely. Nah, that's a lie. I could not do that.
I'd probably be able to do it. I'd be
Swag could probably do
very
it.
chill and very like understanding and be like, look, dude,
Yeah.
like high school isn't fucking important. Like, what's the beef? What's the problem? What's the issue?
True.
And like,
True.
let's just get down to it. Like, you know, I had some fucking shithead principals, man, that were just all fucking assholes, and they were so uptight, and they fucking ruled it like they were power tripping on fucking Adolf Hitler, like
Yeah.
fucking taking it way too seriously. And
Yeah.
and you know, it's like their whole idea is like, we need to be a symbol of authority to these children, so that they
Mhm.
respect authority. But all that does is make you fucking hate authority, because then you're like, okay, well, they had this shit completely wrong, and you know, like. Some dude punched me in the face, and I punched him back for punching me in the face because I was defending myself, and I get suspended too. Like, they think, you know,
Yep.
they see it as injustice, and they see it as bullshit, and then they have no respect for the system.
And
Then
you
they
gotta
start
respect
smoking
the
meth.
system.
I think that's a
when
fun
they-
game
yeah.
though. Which one of the misfits is most likely to?
Oh yeah, that is a fun game.
Yeah.
Hey, maybe we'll play more of that next week
Yeah.
when the show continues. Guys, thank you for listening.
Yeah. Thanks for listening, guys.
Thank you.
I love
Again. Yep.
you.
I miss you.
I miss you. All right.
Hi, girl. Sorry we
All
couldn't
right.
Skype tonight.
I see you tomorrow. All right, guys. No, seriously, good night. Goodbye. Enjoy yourself. And, you know, most importantly, question everything.
Yeah.
I shouldn't.
Hey guys, today's guest is an authority on Japanese culture, more so than an actual Japanese person, I think. He's a true Renaissance man. He's a game critic, hentai connoisseur, game developer, and best of all, he's friends with Shadow the Hedgehog. I bring to you Sephiroth Sword 57.
Konnichiwa, my swordlings and supporters. Some people think that $500,000 is too much to ask for. Developing a game costs a lot of money. Konnichiwa, everyone. This is Sephiroth Sword 57. Absolutely sugoi. Welcome back, buddy.
Thank you, Seth, for coming on the show. How you doing today?
I'm doing quite good today.
Yeah. I've been kind of watching your channel pretty regularly, and
Okay, yeah.
I've been meaning to ask you something. All right, and I want you to give me an honest answer if you can.
Yes, absolutely.
And I feel like, let's be honest, you're a bigger authority on Japanese culture than most Japanese people. Let's be honest.
I would say I'm on this around the same level. I would say I consider to be on the same level as the average Japanese. Maybe a little bit higher than the let's say the normal Japanese civilian. I would say I'm on a little bit deeper level since I research a lot of Japanese culture and history and stuff like that. So.
Okay.
Yes, I would say I'm a little bit more. I know a little bit more than the average person.
Well, then you'd be the perfect person to ask this. I was wondering, which weapon do you think is superior? This FN Browning, 1922, manufactured in Nazi-occupied Belgium. It fires a 32 ACP bullet, travels 984 feet per second, 158 foot-pounds of stopping power. Or this katana.
Oh, I mean, the katana, obviously.
It's this was $17 at the flea market. Still, is it still better than the?
Well, I'm assuming that the katana is a replica and it's not actually used for real sword fighting.
Right.
But with enough training and enough discipline, you will absolutely be able to beat anyone, even with a. I don't have my boken near me, but I have a practice sword that I use for fending, in case I need to fend off intruders, like thieves and such,
or refugees.
Yeah. So yes, I would say the katana is definitely, with enough training, the better weapon.
Okay.
Than the Nazi gun.
I had a pretty heated argument with my friends, and they were honestly filthy Westerners. They were just convinced that a gun was in every way better than a sword, but I couldn't convince them.
That's ignorance, I would say. Just not knowledgeable enough, and that's one of my duties. I feel like, as an ambassador of Japan here in the West, I feel like it's important. I used to get into arguments a lot with Westerners who were wrong, but I knew that they didn't know better. So I had, it's better to explain to a Westerner why they're wrong, rather than getting angry at them. I've realized.
Yeah, honestly, it's. Is it hard living day in and day out, just pitying the people around you for not fully understanding the beauty of Japanese culture? You know,
it can absolutely.
There goes the sword. It fell.
It's probably fine.
It's fine. It's absolutely
it's a katana,
fine.
So it's probably fine.
I think it cut the foundation of my house, actually, when it fell.
Oh, wow.
Fine. We're all right. So, wait, do you have an anime body pillow?
That's a little. I think I'm gonna keep that a bit of a secret. That's a little bit of a private.
Is that a personal question? I'm just gonna tell you.
Yeah, it's.
If I had an anime body pillow, and I kind of, because I'm not as well versed on anime as you, I was hoping you would give your seal of approval for my woman of choice, my waifu that I would have on my body pillow.
Oh, okay.
This is one that I had growing up, and she was like it was like, because before this I was just watching Dexter's Lab and like Rocco's Modern Life, and then I saw a show called Cowboy Bebop, and there was this girl, Faye Valentine.
Okay, yes.
And I had never seen anything quite like that. And I still, like, you know, get a little bit hot in the loins when I think about Faye Valentine. I think if I had a waifu body pillow, I think that would be the one.
That's that's not bad.
That's not bad.
No, that's definitely an acceptable choice, I would say.
Have you ever seen a Faye Valentine cosplay that has been acceptable in your eyes? They can never pull it off.
Remember.
Yeah, they can't pull it off. Nobody
not.
has those proportions. Nobody.
It's probably you're probably right.
Yeah, I think it's because I've exclusively seen Westerners trying to do it, which really just sickens me more than anything.
Oh, that's okay. Yeah, that's well, a lot of Westerners can't really pull off that that kind of aesthetic.
Yeah,
it's well, with a few exceptions, but most Westerners, yes, they seem to be more interested in dressing up as pretending to be other characters than themselves, rather than just doing it for the art.
Yeah.
So, Cowboy Bebop is a very split opinion on that show because it was more popular in the West than it was in Japan.
It's because it has a very like Western like old Wild West tropes to it. It's almost like you're following a cowboy in space.
Yes.
You know?
Yes, exactly. And it's well made. And personally, I have watched it. I was not so big on it as other people was, but I can definitely appreciate it as a piece of Japanese animation.
Yeah.
He also made a show called Samurai Champloo. I don't know if you have seen that. That's a samurai show made by the same creator.
Yeah, I've heard of it. I haven't seen it. I've been I haven't gotten too much into cartoons in the past decade, probably. But
okay, well that's an anime.
Yeah.
But it's also very popular in the West compared to Japan, even though it has it's more about Japanese history and samurai. So, which is kind of interesting.
Huh. I saw a clip on your Twitter, and it was you describing the differences between porn and hentai.
Yes, that's something I uploaded because I knew that a lot of people would find that interesting, and they probably haven't heard me talk about it before. So,
and you were leaning kind of hard into the character development side of things.
Yes.
Do you prefer like hentai over traditional pornography?
Absolutely. I don't watch traditional pornography, not even Japanese ones, because they lean very into the sexual interactions rather than trying to build up characters with backstory and personality, because the end result will, of course, get to the sexual act, but before then, that moment will be way more rewarding if it builds up through the story with the character development and such.
Well, the one you were talking about on Twitter was it was this hentai called Bible Black.
Yes.
And I kind of looked into it, and it looks like the character development, everything happens, and then the end result, what it builds up to is rape. Which isn't in conventional porn a whole lot.
No, that's something that can't be replicated in that way. Which is also a thing about hentai, is that they can explore different types of storytelling and
fantasies.
Well, I guess yes, fantasies that you couldn't really do in traditional live action pornography. So I found it very interesting because it's for people with those these fantasies, they can find a lot of things, find out a lot of things, and enjoy a lot of things that they normally couldn't.
Yeah.
So I think that's a very good thing, and I think most of all I personally enjoy the build up and the character development throughout in hentais and such.
Do you enjoy the rape part? That's the part that doesn't. So actually, specifically in Bible Black, hermaphrodite rape, which I think is some sort of hate crime in and of itself.
I can't say I remember. That's a little. I think I'm gonna skip that question. But,
You're gonna skip that one.
But it's interesting because Bible Braku was originally an animation, which is not very common in the hentai genre. Usually hentai are based off of doujinshis, if you know what that is.
No, I don't. I'm sorry. What's a doujinshi? Chojinshi?
the Dojin is the abbreviated version, easier to say.
Dojin.
Okay. Yes, it's here in the West they're mostly known as hentai in manga form.
Gotcha.
I would say. Yes.
Okay.
So it's and those are usually they're usually made by smaller artists. Some would call them more of an indie, like smaller. They work from home, and they get famous through doing these dojins. And sometimes bigger studios pick them up for animation. So it usually starts out with a dojin or a manga of some kind. But for something like Baibaru Braku, it was animation from the beginning. So
that's pretty interesting.
Yeah, there's some history there.
I saw I also saw you had a Kickstarter.
Yes. Unfortunately, it didn't reach the goal.
Yeah, I saw it was for a game called Last Dream Central 7, Cloud of Emergency.
Yes, that was the project, yes.
And you also got a cease and desist from this project, didn't you?
I did do that. I did, which was very... even though all this happened, it was still very flattering to get that from such a big company. And
did you end up having to pay the damages? It was like 120,000 or something like that in damages.
No, I didn't. Well, it was because they're mostly used as a warning, these cease and desist, and they don't really go through with it. So, but no, since the project didn't reach the goal, I didn't have nothing happened out of it. So,
I saw the not to rub this in your face or anything, but I did see that it only made $2,083 out of the $543,000 that you were asking for.
Yes,
and
yes.
I don't mean to say that, you know, you didn't get even fucking close to your goal. What I mean to say is you have 5,000 subscribers on YouTube.
Yes.
And you managed to hoodwink them out of $2,000. That's a pretty good ratio, I like to think. I have a million subs. If I could get just one fucking dollar from each of these people, I would be a millionaire. That would be fantastic. You got like $100 from each one. That was...
Yes.
That was great.
I mean, those swordlings that were helping out and pledged to the project, I really appreciate it. One of my swordlings was pledged $1,000.
Wow!
To see the project go.
I saw that in the comments. He said he maxed out an Amex credit card in order to do that.
Yes, I don't really read a lot of the comments anymore on my videos unless they're I don't really pay attention because sometimes there's a lot of negativity. So I usually see them through when people when they pledge or when they send a message or something like that, or on the or if people talk to me on the Discord server, which are usually fans or swordlings.
Yeah, swordlings. That's the name for your subscribers, right?
Yes, those that's the name of my fans.
Nice. I see you got what are those little statues behind you on your...
Oh yes.
Yeah.
I have a couple of statues here of some of my favorite characters.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have all of them up there, but let me talk about them really quick.
Okay. Go for it.
I'm gonna save this one for last. Okay. So this is Arucado from let's see if we can get a
Castlevania.
Yes, Akomajo Drakura Exo Gekano Gastrokyoku. It's one of my favorite games for the PlayStation. That's right, Symphony of the Night, as it's called in the West.
Yeah.
And it's a great game. And this statue I actually got from a friend. must have been 15 years ago.
Wow,
So this
that's an old one. Hell yeah.
Yes. So it's very precious. This one I got after I got back into Jojo no Kimi no Boken, which is JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. And this is Yosuke Higashikata, one of my favorite characters from JoJo.
I've heard a lot about JoJo, never seen it. Is it worth watching? Is it good stuff?
It is very good. It's an old manga. It's a manga from the 80s, so it has a very nostalgic, old school style to it and story writing, which I think a lot of people find enjoyable. It has very 80s, 90s writing in it, and it has interesting characters. Explores a lot of interesting ideas. I would say it's very bizarre. Since, well, as you can tell from the title.
Is there any hermaphrodite rape in that?
No, not what I can tell. I can show you my last one, which is this one.
Yeah.
This is Sephiroth from Final Fantasy VII, which my name is based off.
Yeah.
Sephiroth Sword 57. So, of course, it's a very important one as well.
Oh,
and this
I
I also pay. I think I got it around the same time as this Alucard one, but this one was I paid. I had to pay myself an order from Japan.
Oh man!
So it was. Yes,
do you have a katana?
I don't have it right. I think it's in, since I only use my boken, my training sword. I don't really have the katana around because it's very dangerous if I'm gonna start using it against if there ever is a criminal. So if any criminals show up, it would be pretty bad because I have a lot of strength and a lot of power, and holding back against some of those, it would be hard to hold back.
Yeah. Naturally,
so is enough. That's enough to knock them out and then call the police if needed.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Do you want to see my figurine that I have?
Oh yes, absolutely.
Okay.
Let me see.
This is I just got this in, and I'm pretty excited about it. I'll actually open it. I'll take it out of its hermetically sealed box. But this is a YouTuber and a person I've looked up to for a very long time. Have you ever heard of U2s? You ever heard of those?
No, I have not.
They're incredibly stupid little vinyl figurines. I hate them. I can't stand them. And this guy went the other route, and he got an actual action figure. This is Frankie McDonald. He supplies the United States in its entirety with weather updates. If there is a storm in the U.S., he will let you know where it is, when it is, and what you need to do to prepare yourself. I live in Florida, which is rife with hurricanes, and I stay tuned in to Frankie McDonald. And he let me know that Hurricane Irma was coming to decimate my town a couple years ago. And he told me to get my family, get some SpaghettiOs, get some canned soups, and hide in the basement or hide in the bathroom. And I did. And so this guy right here, responsible for saving my life.
It makes sense why you look up to him then, because that makes sense.
He's a good guy. Not nearly as fierce looking as the Alucard though, for sure.
No, that's true. That's interesting.
Yeah. But I think like how your figurines are looking down on you, kind of protecting you day in and day out. I like to think Frankie is protecting me by sitting up on my shelf, looking down on me.
That sounds good.
Yeah. I got more stuff. Oh yeah, I saw you. You played saw you did a Bloodborne review, and I gotta say, that entire episode is a fucking fever dream if I've ever seen it. That thing was.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because in the beginning you go from reviewing Bloodborne with who's that? Is it your brother or something? A friend?
Joachim. He's my childhood friend.
Okay, your friend came over and you were both playing it, and then it quickly turns to you killing Mario in a parking lot.
Oh, Nintendo.
Oh yeah, Nintendo. I guess he was more of a figurehead of Nintendo.
Yes.
Yeah.
And in the Sephiroth Sword 57 show, Nintendo's represented by the form of Super Mario. Yes.
Gotcha. And from his body, you collect Dragon Balls.
Yes.
Which are then used to grant a final wish.
Yes.
And what cracks me up is the choices of your wish are you get to choose between immortality, infinite wealth, or being Japanese. That's your final. Those are your three choices.
Yeah.
And but you decided to stray from the path, and you chose to resurrect Shadow the Hedgehog.
Yeah.
That was your. That why the fuck would those be your options though? Like wealth, immortality, or a race swap.
Well, Shannon can. Those were just some examples.
Oh, okay.
Because Shannon can do pretty much anything as long as it's within his power
Gotcha.
to do so. If it's anyone more powerful than him, he can't achieve
the wish.
Yes, the wish. Yes.
Yeah.
But it was just some examples.
Okay.
There. But yes, in the show, Sephiroth Sword 57 decides to resurrect his best friend, Shadow the Hedgehog.
Gotcha. Okay, so hypothetical here, completely hypothetical world. Let's assume Shadow the Hedgehog never died. What would your next wish be?
I've had people. Okay, so here's the thing about, and you might not have seen that video, but the thing about those Dragon Balls is that they are cursed. So whatever wish I would have would have some negative effects to it.
Okay.
So the reason why the shadow that got resurrected became evil, and later in the Sephiroth Sword 57 show, he betrayed Sephiroth Sword 57 me in the show. So if I, for example, wanted wealth, I probably would get a lot of money, but I would also be I would probably have some kind of bad luck. I would lose all the money. I would become in debt or something like that.
Or you'd have the Midas touch. You know what that is?
No, I don't know.
That's in the East, they have old, I guess, like legends. And in the West, believe it or not, we do too. And one is it's an old Greek story, a myth of King Midas. And he is so greedy that he gets to the point where he's granted by the gods the ability to touch anything he touches turns to gold. And then he ends up touching his daughter's tit or something like that, and she turns to gold, and it kills her. And so it's like,
that sounds that sounds like something I've heard of before.
Yeah, it's like it's like a curse, but also a blessing.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it's in that way. So okay, so if I wanted to choose money, I would probably there would be some kind of curse to it. But let's say if I choose to become Japanese, I would
probably be a hermaphrodite, in Bible Black.
I think I would turn into some kind of rude Westerner, the absolute opposite of a Japanese, respectable Japanese man. It would probably, yes, I would probably be some kind of rude Westerner.
Gotcha.
Instead, so. It's hard for that. That question is kind of hard.
Yeah.
No matter what I go with, it would be bad for me. since those were cursed, those Dragon Balls. But if they were not, I probably would have gone with wealth because I've had some financial issues. Let's say if we're talking about real life and not the show, that would probably be what I would go with. Yes.
Yeah.
At that point.
You hear a lot of people, they say like money doesn't buy happiness.
Oh yeah, no, it doesn't.
It absolutely does. There's absolutely no way that, I mean, I'm pretty happy when, you know, I have like my house paid for, or, you know, there's like definitely some crushing emotional toll that having being in a lot of debt kind of deals down on you. And I think money would probably help out a lot. It doesn't hurt. I'm not going to get sad from being rich.
No, it absolutely. It certainly doesn't hurt.
Yeah.
It's the yes.
Okay, so you'd probably choose wealth out of all that?
Yes, I would.
Awesome. How do you have your headphones? Are they like are they on the back side of the brim?
What do you have there?
It's I was gonna try to fit in here. I also have a fedora with a
with the Konoha symbol as well. Wow.
Yeah. Is that a good look?
Oh wow. That's a good looking one. Okay. Absolutely.
Awesome. It was $11 on Amazon.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
When did you get that?
I got it probably 2 years ago. I was trying to up my fashion game, and then I felt like I couldn't pull it off. But you know what?
That's not bad.
Yeah, I think it feels right. It feels right.
Looks good.
Yeah, thank you. So I got a question. Have you ever seen, like, it's considered racist for a woman to fetishize, or not even a woman, just it's considered racist for white people to fetishize black people in a sexual way, like a white girl that wants to get absolutely pounded and demolished by a black man. It's considered racist.
Okay.
Wouldn't you feel like it's technically the same thing when you fetishize Japanese culture?
Well, I guess there's a difference. I'm not really into that kind of what do you say, that those kind of discussions and topics. Usually, I used to focus on the more interesting aspects of culture, and especially Japanese culture. I think it's overall. I think Japanese culture is. I guess there's a difference between appreciating Japanese culture and fetishizing it.
Yeah.
And because if you just see it as something that's supposed to make you feel good, then I feel like it's not the right way of thinking. Because Japanese culture could really help out mostly their society and how they treat each other. We could really gain a lot from that. How, for example, I think Japanese culture is superior when it comes to how they show each other respect. If you're sick in Japan, if you have a cold, it's common sense to wear a face mask, like a lot of Westerners are doing now during these times. But that doesn't even bother them. It's not even a thought. They just put it on because they know that they don't want to spread the cold to someone else. That is something we could take note of, and I think that's something that could just be better. That we could do better, but we refuse to do it. A lot of Westerners, and I think also the way how they don't really shake hands a lot in Japan, and it's mostly not to spread. That's also a very good idea of not spreading germs and just sickness and all kinds of bacteria and stuff. And,
I heard in Japan they actually have separate like subway and train cars for women because they don't want to get molested.
Yeah, it's definitely a good, since there are a lot of there's always bad people wherever you go, and I think that they see that as they want people to be comfortable, and there are of course like they take precaution for stuff like that because they don't want people to be to be uncomfortable.
I just had an idea. Me and you, we should co-write a hentai, a manga. We'll co-write a manga about a young Japanese hermaphrodite that wanders into the wrong subway car.
Okay.
And she finds herself surrounded by men.
I mean, it could be interesting. It could be interesting story-wise.
A lot of plot development, character development possible in there.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
Within the confines of that train car.
Yes, it's a hard thing to capture that Japanese style of writing, though. I think it's something that would be hard. Usually, I reach out to artists that I appreciate if I have an idea, because they usually have a better idea of how to write the story or the characters.
Yeah.
But a lot of the times I reach out to them through email as or messages or something like that, so that I can show them my ideas that I have, scenarios and concepts that would make for an interesting story, and I'm sure some of them are really appreciated those little messages and stuff. But I always do it because I know that they're capable of doing something interesting.
Gotcha. Do you know of what's that guy's name? Hold on, he's a guy that draws like a lot of hentai stuff. Hold on, let me find him.
There's a lot of them.
Yeah, there's a lot of them. No, he's a Westerner. I think.
Well, it's time to shit on the premiere of this. Okay. Who's ready to shit on a video? Unironically. It'd be really funny though. Oh, camera. I'm getting a new camera, HDMI cord, and a capture card's coming in soon. So we won't be using this Logitech web camera very much longer. Hopefully, we won't have to use the crummy webcam. We'll have an actual capture card and whatnot. So that'll be pretty good when that comes in. Should come in, I don't know, maybe next week or something. Depends. Oh, I was ready for the countdown. Okay, here we go. How's this gonna work? That's a pretty cool intro. 22nd of July, an epic collab was recorded.
What are your thoughts on this upcoming event, Mr. B's second collab? How are you feeling? Excited, nervous?
I'm pretty excited to be We've spent like 2 weeks trying to get this whole set up. We got an awesome team that helped us make this whole map, and I'm really excited to see how it plays out. Plenty of hiding spots, and it should be really fun.
Wait, it's all Dippy? Always has
Luke,
been.
how are you feeling? $10,000 is so much. What are you gonna do if you win the 10K?
I'm gonna donate some of it to the EST Patreon.
See, what I was gonna do with the money,
CPU, maybe a mic.
I was gonna go ahead and, well, I'll just get my word afterward, actually.
So that's a few $100s for each of you.
Hey, what are you gonna do?
I'm going to buy every single one of the 15 builders that were participating in the event. I'm gonna buy everybody who did not have everybody who has under a 1660 Ti. I'm gonna get them a 1660 Ti for their computer.
Well, first of all, Bob Simple Tank. Gotta have the Bob Simple Tank. I'll probably get like a VR headset, and I'll use some to get my sister a gaming computer and a desk and stuff.
If I win the $10,000, I'm probably gonna save up towards my car.
I'm going to buy myself a full steering wheel setup with like the pedals, the clutch.
I was gonna buy a whole racing setup and stuff. I was so excited for this.
29, and then I'm gonna buy a Valve Index maybe, or maybe like just some sort of VR and another monitor, and then I'm gonna use the rest of the money to trade in my Tucson for a Hyundai Veloster N.
I'm very nervous. I'm definitely premeditating.
I had it all planned out.
To hide in. And going through my old childhood and every time I've ever played hide and seek, trying to figure out where were the spots that actually work the most.
I'm just ready to hide.
I'm just ready to hide.
And then I'm gonna, if whatever else I have left over, I'm just gonna like give back. It's like contact the people who did participate in the event. Like, the other people who weren't builders or weren't part of the BT community. I'm just gonna give like a couple of people some like a little bit of money.
Yeah, I really wanted to give back to the community if I was gonna win. A lot of us actually wanted to give money back to us all pretty much. It's sad that that didn't actually go down like that.
Yeah, we joined this
This is
right
awesome.
here, dude. He's in the last event too.
Yeah, he's in the. Oh, you guys are all stuck in there. How does it feel, boys?
Just sitting in there, and I was gonna place. I placed banners and I placed signs on the wall.
Post Industries. Oh, sorry, I didn't know I could punch you.
Oh. I have to find somewhere.
All right, I'm hiding.
Is there?
It sucks. None of us actually won, and we had like such good hiding spots too, but they like blew up everything. It was like, and also they cut off the underground area. We had like a whole underground system, but like the Beast crew came by and had to, close off a lot of the underground stuff. So we only had buildings to hide in. It was really. And also hiding behind the painting was just a terrible idea because it could just blow up the whole building with you in it.
What happened over here?
This is a really kind of scary video.
Much money, like $10,000 is a lot of money. That's not enough to get a car. It's a lot of money. Two people died. Vapor, no.
We lost it. It's like every time someone died, it was so sad, by the way. I think I was like second to last to die in the group, or something like that, or third. That's like fifth or something like that. Fifth to last, pretty much. I didn't record my screen, but oh, there's Ghost Toast.
Bravo 6 going dark. No, guys, he's shaking his head no. Just don't look. Guys, you really far away? Yeah. Put your hand.
He went right past them, dude.
Yes. With the farmers. You look like you're right. That hurt.
That's what happens when you get
Aw. That's sad.
Generous
boy. Yeah, that's definitely.
Also, there was also a cheater at the end. It took a little bit of time to actually sort that stuff out.
Donating your money instead of spending it on heroin.
I think I'm also gonna get a gaming setup for my sister too. So I wonder if 10 grand will buy me a life.
So wait, noise.
I would buy Geometry Dash.
Yeah. So there's a bunch of just of E C D E C D E, and then eventually you go E minor.
I was trying to. This is the part where I was just trying to sing with Pippin.
This is a great song.
You should sell your couch and then buy another couch that has the BT logo on it. That's what it was.
Oh my
gosh.
According to all known laws of aviation, there's no way a bee should be able to fly. Its wings are too fat to get its small little body off the ground. Black and yellow.
Don't finish
black
that
and
sentence.
Yellow, black and yellow. Ooh, yellow, black. Let's switch it up a little.
Let's shake it up a little.
Yeah, sorry, switch it. Yeah.
There's my
Let's shake it
keyboard.
up, okay?
I know,
I've
sorry.
watched the thing like
Yes.
50 times.
I know, I saw your video, bro. Chill.
Oh, that's cool. What a great video. I actually really like this video. Wow. That's actually a really good video. What a really good video. That's a good video. I just learned that Mr. Beast is your dad. Epic. I just look at my chat. Hey Jacob, what's up? Yeah, Mr. Beast is my dad. That's right. Yep, he's definitely my dad. Anyways, let's get back to building because we were building just a few minutes ago. So we'll get back to building. Yeah, what a good video. I'm glad I watched that premiere on the stream. That was really good. Hey guys, welcome back to the stream. We're gonna continue building this parking lot, and I think actually once we're done with this parking lot, we'll go move to Cramerton, build a house, and I think we'll end the stream. Okay. So we were listening to a podcast, right? We were doing that. That's what we were doing.
It's actually Swedish.
Okay.
Hold on.
Okay.
What is his name? I'll find it here in a second. What do you do for a living? If you don't mind me asking.
Oh no, no problem. I like to think that right now I have a forklift at a local warehouse.
Yeah.
That's a part-time job. I don't get paid a lot, but it pays the bills, and I do feel like Ryo Hazuki from Shenmue when I do it. So it is quite rewarding. I've been doing it for many years now. I did quit it for a while when I started YouTube because at the time I thought YouTube would be paying a bit more.
We all did.
Yes, I think, and at the time I think a lot of that was 5 years ago, I think, and at the time that was when you got like a 20 to 30,000 views, you would get some money for that. But no, it seems like that was right at the point where it started going downhill really fast.
I remember when I was first starting out in like 2010, there was people that had 1 million subs you would see driving around in like Lamborghinis and having like nice houses up in Hollywood Hills. And now 10 years later, I've reached 1 million subs, and I'm driving around in a Honda Civic.
Well, I guess it's a big difference.
Yeah, it's all kind of gone downhill.
Yes, YouTube used to be the big one.
Yeah, the big
people
bucks.
were aiming for.
Yeah, but now I think all the money's probably in erotic manga. I think that's where the money is. We really need to get into business together.
That is a lot of there's a lot of money to be made there, definitely.
Now, we could save a lot of money on hiring artists if we just do it with stick figures. Do you think we can draw it ourselves?
I mean, sure. I don't know how popular that would be, but if the writing is good enough, then I think people would appreciate it. Although a more Japanese style would probably be more popular.
Yeah.
Among people, I think.
Hold on, let me convince you. Hold on. Let me get something. Okay, so this is what I was thinking about here. Traditionally, they put a lot of effort into. Well, first of all, they put a lot of effort into the drawing, right?
Yes.
But I've always felt like the mind is the biggest erogenous zone. And so the faster we can get these things out in terms of volumes, we can push the story further along. And so I think the real hindrance here in terms of wasting time is those pesky artists. And so if we simply draw it ourselves with a style that's less Japanese, but more something like hold on a second.
That's it.
Like this here. Like that.
I mean,
and then for the women, you do circles.
I mean, yes. It would. Yeah, I guess it's. You have a point.
My work is so underestimated. Yeah, I totally agree. It is definitely underestimated.
It's a clock.
Look at all this
true.
stuff.
Do you know about?
I built this like
do you know
a couple
about
months
the
ago,
artist,
actually.
For
all this stuff.
As a hermaphrodite.
I'm just added on to it today.
Anyway, do you know the artist for One Punch Man?
Yes.
He is known for not
Wow,
being
it's so
a
good.
very-
Yeah, I know, right?
He's
It's
not
pretty
really
good.
an artist. He was more of a writer.
I'm terrible
if
at,
you've seen the
believe it or
original
not, I'm
web
terrible at
of,
drawing with
One
a
Punch
pencil, but in
or
Minecraft I
web
can
manga.
write blocks like
You
calligraphy.
can see the art style isn't very good, but he got a lot of people. He got a lot of fans and a lot of readers because the story was good. So you definitely have a point in that. I don't think I've ever seen a doujin or hentai manga that has tried that before. So that's definitely an interesting concept.
Yeah, I think we should go for it. And if it doesn't work, we could hire. I found the guy I was talking about earlier. His name is Shadman. Have you ever heard of Shadman?
Oh, I know who that is. Yes, yeah. I've seen that. A lot of people that I've a lot of Japanese people I know of don't really like him that much.
Why not?
He's apparently very rude and
he's Swedish. You know that, right? Like this is your.
Is he Swedish?
This is your kinfolk you're talking about. You're Swedish too.
Is he actually Swedish?
He's
Is it
Swedish.
true?
Yeah, I think he's Swedish. Yeah. You know, I keep
that's
buying artwork from his store, and then I get it into the house and I hang it up on the wall, and then my wife throws it away.
Oh, okay. I mean, he's. I'm not gonna talk about like his techniques and how skillful he is as an artist.
Yeah.
Because it's just that I have seen his art. I'm not a fan of the way he draws things myself.
I think he's a great artist. I'm willing to
He's
say on
probably-
record, nobody draws a hermaphrodite as good as this guy. Shadman is the best it gets.
Okay. Well, I have seen art from him, and I would say he's. I wouldn't say he's a bad artist. I can say that. It's just the style I personally can't really get behind. I would say
Not
It's
the
just,
subject matter.
No, not really.
Okay.
I don't really care too much about that. It's mostly the way it's drawn that's unappealing to me. It has this thing where it's Western, but it tries to look Japanese.
Yeah.
And I think it clashes a bit.
Gotcha.
And yes, I don't really. That's a very typical thing for Western artists when they do that very often, where a style kind of don't really work for me personally, and I know a lot of people agrees. But there are artists that have a more of a Western style that still appreciates Japanese art and make it work together. For example, an artist I know who's called Seth, not Seth to be confused with me, Seth Sama, but Seth, and he did a drawing of me, fan art, and he has a very interesting style you can tell it's Western, but it has a very nice Japanese flavor to it that makes it looks nice. He's a good artist that respects Japanese culture.
Oh, that's good. Biggest bang for your buck. Who do you think draws the best hermaphrodites in the business?
I don't really. I don't really know.
Because I've been looking to up my game from Shadman. He just doesn't do it for me anymore. I need the next level of hermaphrodite drawings.
You're thinking of you're thinking about the Japanese term for that, I guess, would be futa.
Yeah, futa. Yeah.
Futanari. It's a short for futanari. Which yes, it's usually that style. There's some history behind that that type of genre. If you're interested,
go for it. I gotta know the ins and outs.
Yes, so it started off that a lot of male artists had a hard time drawing. They had a hard time drawing sex between females. So mostly because there were a lot of young artists, and they were probably not very experienced. So themselves with females in general. So they decided to draw women with male parts. So it will be easier for them to
as
draw
well
the
as
sex
female
scenes.
parts.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, exactly. Both.
You know what the most astounding part is? Is that hermaphrodites have since become a thing in real life. So more proof that life imitates art when you think about it.
Yes, that is a thing. Yes, that's a thing that exists. Which is interesting. I don't know when Futanari started out, but that is the backstory of it. At least it started off as people not knowing how to draw female on female sex.
Do you want to maybe after this podcast we could stay in this call and maybe we could look up how women actually have sex together?
Well, I kind of already have experience with that, but I mean, I could definitely go through a little bit of a like a crash course if you're interested.
Do they mush them together?
No, I can. I guess I can go through it later. If you really want to know, I can.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, I would like it if you gave me a detailed,
yes,
incredibly detailed response on that.
Okay. Well.
Yeah.
Yes,
Because I know the ins and outs of how guys have sex with each other. That I've studied that immensely, but the women having sex is totally foreign to me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's fair. Yes, that sounds interesting.
All right. Well, thanks for coming on my show, man. I appreciate it. I'm hankering to end this thing so we can go discover how women have sex with each other. Do you have your what's your YouTube thing?
It's called Sephiroth Sword 57 is the YouTube channel, and I'm also on Twitter for Sephiroth Sword _ because 57 it's too long of a name, so it doesn't fit on Twitter. And yes,
as a final goodbye, do you want to both tip our fedoras?
Oh well, sure, absolutely.
All right, 3, 2, 1. Awesome. That was good. All right, guys. Later.
Do you have a girlfriend? Not at the moment, but my YouTube fame might open up a lot of possibilities.
Hey, guys.
So.
Hey guys, it's your favorite internet people, Matt Watson, and say it,
Ryan McGee.
There you go. Said your name, dude.
I did. I remember my name. You know what's strange though?
What's strange?
Whenever I'm asked my age, I have to think about it first.
I've started doing that too
for considerably longer than it should take. Like when I was younger, I'd be like 12.
I was just in Texas when I was leaving Texas, like flying back, and someone asked me like, "Oh, where were you?" I had to stop and think about it for some reason. I was like, Texas. Or, like if they asked, and then someone asked me where in Texas, and I was like, where was I in Texas? Even though I was in Dallas.
Yeah.
But
I look so scared. Like whenever I'm buying something from a gas station and they ask me my age, their question is like, "When's your birthday?" And I'll be like, June 14th, 94.
I do that too.
And it looks like I'm making up a birthday.
Yeah, I know.
Spot.
It's like the worst. Like it's the absolute worst thing. I'm always scared whenever I show my ID if I'm buying alcohol that they're gonna think it's fake for some reason. Like I'm always like so on edge.
Just gonna turn you away.
Yeah, or like they're gonna like make it like some big deal, or like the cops are gonna come, even though my ID is perfectly legal and I'm of age. I'm scared that they're gonna be like, wait a second, and like start questioning me about it. I'm really scared they're gonna ask me like my address and stuff, and I'm not gonna be able to remember it for some reason, or like my birthday.
Yeah.
And I'll like completely mess it up, and they'll be like, get out of here. And then they'll keep my ID and put it on the wall of shame or something.
The wall of shame.
Yeah, a lot of liquor stores have a wall of shame where they keep like they put up like fake IDs and stuff.
That's actually really cool.
Yeah.
I want to see those walls of shame.
But my biggest fear is that happens to me just because like I forget my address or something, so they keep it, and I'm like, no, that's my legal license.
I'm sure
need
you
that.
can call the authorities at that point and be like, hey, this psycho stole my license.
I need my license back.
He's collecting my licenses.
Dude, my little on my driver's license, on my South Carolina driver's license, the holographic, I'll show you, the holographic rainbow foil.
Me too?
This, I wish. The holographic like plastic that's on the front to keep you from counterfeiting. I can peel it off now. So if anyone wants to make a fake ID, I'll sell them my little holographic clear like plastic, so you can put it on yours and make it look real. If you want to have a fake South Carolina ID, I'm offering this illegal service on the podcast right now for all of you.
Well, how hard can it be to essentially? Well, I know I would. Jesus
What was
Christ!
What'd you knock over?
A dopey little mic bass.
Oh fuck that mic bass.
What we're fucking talking about?
You were saying I know it's
what?
How do you forget what you were talking about? Like
I don't know. I got distracted by a big fucking.
You're talking about
like
fake
it
IDs.
jarred my brain. It boggled things around.
Fake IDs?
Fake ID. Oh yeah, it's like fake IDs. They have to be somewhat easy to make in retrospect because the means exist for IDs to be made in the first place. Thus, the ingredients are just left up to people to make them.
You just gotta get the right things, I guess.
But then, using that logic, then why don't people make homebrewed Coca-Cola?
Because the recipe's secret.
Yeah, but
It's a secret
how is
formula.
it not leaked? Like a secret that big? People are like, the government is too dumb to pull off complex conspiracies. But how come Coca-Cola's got a conspiracy? You're telling me no one?
That is a conspiracy, you know? Like, Coca-Cola has a secret conspiracy that no one knows. Except for, like, man, imagine...
Isn't it just like the heads of the company know? And, like, that's it?
I think...
You think somewhere down the line it would have to...
leak out.
Yeah.
I wonder if that's one of those things where they say, like, 2 people know it, but, like, actually, like, a ton of people know it. See, well, I don't know, because, like, that is serious knowledge. And I bet if you find out what it is, like, if you're in the company, you probably have to sign some, like, paper or some form where it's like, if you leak this or this gets out, you're gonna have to pay like millions of dollars.
And then after you sign that form, you go home, lock your door, you notice your window's slightly ajar, and then before you can do anything, you're shot in the back of the head.
You start seeing like
by Mr. Coca-Cola himself.
His big red suit.
His big red suit and his Coca-Cola tie.
Dude, if I found out something like the Coca-Cola secret formula, I'd be so, like, every car that drives by my house at night, I'd be like, did that car just slow down outside my house?
You see like the headlights, like all of a sudden that scene happens in a movie where the headlights pull up at the front door and it's like shining in your lights, and all of a sudden they turn off. You're like, and you hear the car door close. You're like, oh shit! You hear the feet on the gravel. That would scare me. Hearing the inevitability of a break-in, kind of like, oh, I hear someone playing with my door right now. Oh fuck!
What'd you do? I would just make funny noises, scare them away, be like, woo! And they'd run.
What I'd do is I'd call the cops, then I'd be like, leave, I called the cops, that type of thing.
Yeah.
Because then it's like the cops are on their way, plus I'm here, and I have a big baseball bat.
Like, cuddle it, like, in your bed with you.
In my bed?
Yeah, like spoon the baseball bat. So then if someone breaks in, you can just like whoosh, it's your partner, you know? You got it with you.
I can break it in half over my knee, and then like attach a chain to him and use them as like awesome nunchucks.
Imagine you doing that while someone's like in the middle of the break-in, like you walk out, you snap the thing over your knee. It takes a couple tries, and you probably break your knee in the process. You definitely break your knee.
I'm down on one knee now because my knee's broken.
There's no way to break a baseball bat over your knee.
Like, I'm sure there is. Is there footage of like coaches in anger breaking a baseball bat over their knee?
I don't think you can.
You know how hard that would be?
Think about a baseball bat is designed to like absorb shock, you know, because you're hitting.
Or send the shock straight to your hands if it connects with the lower portion of the bat, which fucking sucks.
Yeah, you played baseball for a while. You know all about that.
I think it's just hitting things with, like, if you hit something with a stick, like if you broke a branch off a tree, you'd still feel that shitty shock.
Oh yeah, that's why when people do that shitty thing where they're in like the back of a pickup truck and they hit mailboxes with baseball bats. If you hit the mailbox like with the wrong part of the baseball bat, it just like destroys your hands. Apparently, I've never done that because that's a shitty thing to do.
Baseball can fuck up your hands
Yeah,
I guess if you don't do it right. It can also, I mean, baseball's terrifying in the first place. Imagine getting hit in the temple with an 80-mile-per-hour ball.
Yeah, dude, baseball, you're literally standing there while someone with like a machine arm is throwing just a solid sphere at you at like 80, 90 miles per hour. And it's like, all right, hit it away from you now and then run.
It's one man with a tiny deadly weapon versus another man with a slightly larger deadly weapon facing off. And then everyone on the field is like, we got to catch these deadly weapons and throw them around at each other.
I wonder like if aliens like watch baseball, what they would think. Would they think it's like some kind of like standoff between like factions of humans? Like they're fighting right now. This is how they duel. This is how humans fight.
A lot of people give baseball a bad rep. I can actually be entertained if I watch a baseball game because I actually think it can get tense at some points because you got people trying to steal bases behind the pitcher's back. The pitcher's got to keep an eye on that. The pitcher's got to think about what he's going to throw, what type of pitches this batter's good with handling. There's a lot of stuff.
Dude, he might.
I haven't seen Moneyball. Apparently, it's a good movie
with Jonah Hill
and Brad Pitt.
Dude, and the pitcher's got to be looking out too because he just learned the Coca-Cola secret formula.
Oh yeah,
and he's looking all around the stadium to see if he sees that man in the big red suit.
It's like, and all of a sudden he sees just one guy in the outfield that's wearing sunglasses and a suit with a baseball cap on.
He doesn't recognize him. He's like, who's that?
Why isn't he wearing uniforms?
Coach, who's that?
All of a sudden the coach is like, oh, you remember him? He's always been on the team.
I mean, he just like looks at him and like nods his like his little hat at him and then turns and walks away. We should make a horror movie about someone that learns the Coca-Cola secret formula and starts seeing all these signs all of a sudden.
Like an untold history story of fucking Babe Ruth figuring out the Coca-Cola secret formula.
Dude, what if like...
And the reason all those scandals came out about him was they were all actually false,
Yeah.
and they were planted by Coca-Cola because he knew the secret formula.
What if people like...
It's easy to be Alex Jones, man.
Like John F. Kennedy learned the secret formula. And like that's why they had to get rid of him. Like Coca-Cola was
Him
behind
and his brother
assassination.
Bobby.
Because he shared it with his brother Bobby.
Yeah, he shared it with his brother Bobby.
He's like, Bobby, I gotta tell you something.
Good thing Ted didn't get any.
Oh man, dude, he knew Marilyn Monroe too. He probably told Marilyn Monroe,
dude.
He told Marilyn Monroe,
dude.
That's why she died too. That was no accident.
Uh-oh.
Oh
Did
shit.
Martin Luther King know the secret formula of Coca-Cola?
It might have been. I don't know.
Go back to Abraham Lincoln, dude.
Dude, Abraham Lincoln. He was one of the first people to know the secret formula. John Wilkes Booth was hired by Coca-Cola to take Lincoln out.
I wish history, like, as complex as we think it is, I wish it all just came down to a bunch of political figures figuring out the secret to the Coca-Cola secret formula.
Because it's one of those things where like every 50 years, like someone discovers it, and Coca-Cola's like, I don't care who they are, they have to be gone. And like that's what happened, dude. Imagine having that power, knowing the Coca-Cola secret formula, like be like, wow, I'm one of the only people that knows it. I guarantee it's nothing special. It's just like, oh, that's it, really? Huh.
Some corn syrup and mayonnaise.
Corn syrup and mayonnaise.
That's the secret formula.
I never guessed it, but I tried it, and it's it. I'm actually shocked, like, because you feel like other companies would be able to like take Coca-Cola and then kind of like break it down and like taste it, and like you feel like with science they'd be able to like perfectly clone Coca-Cola, but they can't. Like no other company can. Same with like Pepsi, Dr. Pepper. Like there's always something different about those.
Like another company needs to create Coca-Cola using stem cells, dude.
Dude, that's why we need to legalize
No,
like
that
stem
makes
cell
no
research.
sense.
Grow some Coca-Cola.
Grow some
Because there's no
Coca-Cola.
Coca-Cola cells.
Dude, what?
Believe it or not, dude.
Are you serious right
I'm
now?
100% serious.
Are you lying to me?
I'm not lying to you,
Are you
Ryan. I'm
telling a
serious.
big old fib?
Ryan, I'm not fibbing, dude. I'm
You
not
better
fibbing.
not be fibbing with me.
God, would you tell me if you knew the Coca-Cola secret formula?
Yeah, I'd tell you.
Careful, man.
You're like the closest person that I know to me.
Careful,
right now.
Ryan, because if you ever find out, even by accident, Coca-Cola could listen back and be like, he's already a liability because in the past he said he would tell somebody, and then all of a sudden, where's my friend Ryan?
I'm
Ryan's
trying
missing.
to picture a universe though where I would know it and you wouldn't. I feel like you and I are attached currently right now. Like like it would be a brand deal with Coca-Cola where it's like, okay, do the make your own Coca-Cola challenge
with corn syrup and mayonnaise. Like we're like goofing around, and then like we mix corn syrup and mayonnaise, and we realize that is the secret. Like we discover it.
Can someone tweet at us a video of them like getting some, what is it, tonic water, putting in some mayonnaise and corn syrup,
mix it up,
and tell us if that's Coca-Cola.
It might be. I don't know. What if it really is? And like Coca-Cola like comes down on us with like the heaviest legal hammer we've ever seen in our life. 'Cause you gave away the secret formula on your podcast,
and you have a goofy illustration of it as the thumbnail.
Oh man, guys. Well, you can make we now you know how to make your own Coca-Cola at home. Would this be like a national like news scandal if we just leaked the secret formula on our podcast?
If we did it by accident, it would go down in history as one of the greatest findings known to man.
Corn syrup and mayonnaise makes
Yeah.
Coca-Cola. It's a chemical reaction.
Like fuck those douchebags with brushes brushing away bones in the desert. Like, come on, we're the real historical figures.
We're the
that
ones
should be
discovering
marveled.
shit.
Yeah.
Matt and Ryan
Oh,
from
look,
Super
a bunch
Mega.
of bones. Anyone can put a bunch of bones together and call it a giant lizard.
In
but
fact-
can most people put corn syrup and mayonnaise and tonic water and call it Coca-Cola?
Nope.
Don't think so.
Yeah, guys, you listen to the Super Mega podcast, you discover some new stuff like the Coca-Cola secret formula. I know that I forgot what product it is, but there's some secret formula where no one actually knows it, or that's that's how they market it.
Yeah.
Because they're like only two people, like one person knows half of it and the someone else knows the other half. But I'm like, well, how do you make your drink then? Because the thing is, at the Coca-Cola factory, someone's got to manufacture whatever the secret stuff is to put into the drink. You know, so wouldn't more people have to know the secret formula? Because like Coca-Cola,
They're all employees. I feel like the base mixture is created and like only people at the top level know. I don't think like people at factories actually brew it up. I don't know. I went to the Coca-Cola factory once. It's all machines that make Coca-Cola, right? It's not like people going, oh, little drop of this, little drop of that, little stir it with a big spoon.
I wish it was like a bunch of like German housewives, like with aprons and like mixing up like a little dash of this, a little sprinkle of that,
all singing along in a nice old Coca-Cola song.
That'd be amazing, man. Like that would make me want to drink Coke even more if I knew that like that much like love and hard work went into it. If a bunch of robots make something for me, I'm like, where's the love and passion in this?
Yeah, but unfortunately, sodas can't help you, be all healthy and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. And speaking of being healthy,
what?
Something about Beachbody and a pre-recorded Beachbody ad?
Here it is. Ryan, do you want to get ripped and have huge muscles?
A lot, yes.
Then use Beachbody On Demand. It's an easy-to-use streaming service that gives you instant access to a wide variety of super effective workouts you can do from the comfort of your living room.
The best part about it, you can snip these and throw them up. These past few days, I need to get back on the ball. I've been enjoying junk food. I haven't had junk food in the longest time, and this past I think almost a month now, I've just been really enjoying food. Like not going hard like I used to. I used to go hard, dude.
Dude, you went ham.
Yeah, I go to 7-Eleven every night and get I'd get gummy worms and I'd get like a bunch of fucking drinks.
I remember, dude, I would go with you sometimes.
Get a big old honey bun.
Get like $10 worth of just like garbage candy.
And chips. And plus that means like earlier that night I also probably had Buffalo Wild Wings.
Oh, man.
Oh, my God. Thinking about how I woke up and how I felt internally those mornings is awful.
It's the worst.
Like, I can still stop myself from eating too much. I can still eat in excess, but now I never get to that point.
I don't either because, like, I don't know. I feel like I hit a point when I was 21, like, shortly after I turned 21. I'm 22, so this was not that long ago.
Okay.
But I hit a point when I was, like, 21 where I just like hit this point where I couldn't turn back on like being conscious of
there's no turning back.
Eating a ton of disgusting candy and junk food. Because like before I could do it like guilt free and just do it, but then I just hit this point where I was like, this is really bad for me.
I really feel like when I'm eating candy, it's slowly grating away at my teeth.
I feel like that, and I also feel like it's just killing me because it's like I'm gonna feel awful later, and there's no way this is gonna make me feel good.
It's not fueling your body well.
No,
like
it's sugar.
Like when you fill up your car, you got to use the right gas. You're not using the right gas.
Exactly.
You're like watering it down and thinking like, yeah, this will get me by.
You are what you eat is what they say. So if you eat a bunch of gummy worms, you'll just turn into a big gummy worm.
Yeah, like a big Jabba the Hutt looking gummy worm.
That'd be pretty cool, man.
No one.
If you were just a giant gummy worm monstrosity.
Yeah.
I'd take a little bite out of you. I love gummy worms. Gummy worms are the greatest, but I don't know, dude. I just like... I can't eat candy like I used to.
Sometimes, though.
Hard to what?
It's hard to not be gluttonous sometimes because it's just like food is really good.
Food is the best, and you just want to eat it.
I usually get caught off guard because I'll start eating when I'm bored or like I'm like, wait, I'm not eating right now. I feel like I want to be snacking on something. I'm a little bit hungry. Let me just start eating out of this chip bag, and all of a sudden the bag's over, and I'm like, oh wow, let me go watch this show. And then I'll like, I could use an ice cream right now. Like that type of shit.
Yeah.
It just builds up. Ow!
What'd you just do?
Pulled a hair out. I'm seeing long hairs in the shower, and I'm like, my mom visited so long ago. Like, why are her hair still in the shower? I'm like, oh, wait, they're mine.
Or your mom has like mutant hairs that are slowly creeping back up, and they're gonna
that would terrify me.
It's like an when the hair like shoots out of the drain and like grabs her. It's gonna do that to you.
Fully aware hair is terrifying.
I hate that. Fully aware hair. This podcast is sponsored by Fully Aware Hair.
Fully Aware Hair. It's the best hair product in town. Dude. Well, not as good as, never mind. Actually, you know what? They don't have a sponsor this time.
Not on this episode, so.
I won't even mention your name.
What if they pull the sponsorship because of that? And like, what? We didn't call you out. We didn't mention your name. And they'll be like, oh, yeah, well, you put two and two together. And I'm like, oh, oops, sorry. We love you.
Whatever, fuck you.
Stop, don't say that, don't say that.
I'm kidding. If you're a cool sponsor, you'll take the heat.
They're not, yeah, that's true. They got to look hip and cool to all the millennials.
Yeah.
And if they know that if they pull it, all the millennials are going to be like,
let's be honest, their company can't afford not to look hip and cool.
Amen. Just roasting this poor company.
We're really just roasting them.
We don't mean it.
Yeah, we don't.
Please.
We're just goofing around.
We're just goofing. We're just throwing goofs all around, like it's a
Change
big
the subject. I'm scared.
Oh man, Ryan. But if your hair, imagine if you could feel in your hair, like if your hair had nerves, that would suck. Like laying in bed, you're like, God, dude, I can't imagine just how much.
Like if
life
someone
would
just
suck.
started flicking your hair.
Like yeah, that would
or like
hurt.
sawing your hair, it would hurt like it would be cutting your skin. That would suck.
Couldn't get a haircut, or they'd have to put you under to get a haircut.
Yeah, each time it's like this surgical process. We're putting him under.
Imagine going in to get a haircut and you're like, I'm sure
Well,
there's
your
people
hair
out
might
there-
look better if they actually paid that much attention to how your hair was cut. Imagine places that specialize that much to where it's like, we're gonna put you under so you're absolutely still, and I can work with you the way I need to.
Put you in like a zero gravity
canvas.
environment.
You're my canvas.
Man, I would love to have someone cut my hair that like cared about it like so fucking much. They're just like, listen, this is gonna be like, I'm gonna spend 3 hours and just, it's gonna look great. Because usually when you go in to get a haircut, you know, it's a job to them, you know?
Yeah.
I'm sure a lot of people put passion into it, but there's a lot of people that are just like, all right, you're giving me money, I'm gonna cut your hair how you want it. I want to go into someone that looks at my hair, they look at the pattern, like they scan my head, they get the patterns of like the way my hair goes here, and they're like, all right, this is the best way to cut it, and it's gonna look good, and I'm gonna spend hours doing it, and I'm doing it because I love you. I have this passion for your hair. That like you would have the greatest haircut ever, I bet.
Yeah.
It would look so good.
But
it'd be like $5,000 though.
Yeah, I just don't know what to do with my hair right now. I've always said like I'm in that awkward phase. I'm legitimately in that awkward phase of long hair.
It doesn't look awkward. It looks fine.
I mean, I have a hat on right now. Well, a beanie, cap, I don't know what
a
this is.
toque.
A toque? Is this what this is?
That's what they call in Canada.
Okay, a toque.
Or I could be completely wrong, and all the Canadians are like, "What are you talking about?"
What is Canada like? Is it nice?
I've never been. I wouldn't know.
I don't think I'd like Canada.
I feel like I'd love Canada. Well,
Not
in the
to
winter.
live there, but I'd feel like I could visit there, and it would. I feel like I would love Canada to visit. I feel like it would be great, especially when it's cold, because I like the cold. But then all of a sudden, it's like it's too cold, Ryan. Fuck off. You think you're just gonna fetishize Canadian culture like that?
Here's the thing, like because Canada, like the most southern point of Canada is more northern than the northern border of the United States, and that's too cold for me. like think about that. Like that's freezing, man. Think about North Dakota. Think about how cold North Dakota is. Canada's above that. Do you want to live somewhere where it's that cold?
No.
No.
Look, California weather actually spoils a lot of people. They don't get the humidity. They don't get the biting cold. I mean,
you don't get the bugs. You don't get the pollen as much. You get the pollen a little bit. Like I'm feeling it right now. I need an Allegra, but it's not that bad.
I have maybe gotten 1 or 2 mosquito bites since I've lived here.
Yeah, like the mosquitoes are they go somewhere else.
I don't know where they are. Like every now and then I'll get like a bug bite and I'll be like, where'd that come from? Oh well.
Imagine how Los Angeles would feel if the air was clean. Like the weather combined with like clean air. How great that would be.
That would feel wonderful. You can kind of get that experience if you go out into like the camping sites like you and I did.
Yeah.
You
Oh, it
just
feels
gotta
so much
get away
nicer.
from the city.
You can notice like an actual like difference when you go somewhere like away from Los Angeles.
As the sun shines through the smog, it was a beautiful day in downtown Los Angeles.
Oh, the smog. There's so much smog, man. Like
I challenge someone to write like the opening of a book that takes place in downtown Los Angeles and not make it seem like it's depressing
and gross.
Like, and be realistic. Don't be like, oh, the birds were chirping, all the red robins were out flying around, the clouds were beautifully placed, the cumulonimbus orgasmic fashions of society. I don't know.
I was like, what?
That's what a lot of writers do. They use a bunch of words and mash them together, and then by the end of it, you're like, what was
Just go on
that?
thesaurus.com.
Excuse me?
Dude, I got mad respect for the people that did that.
I did that in middle school.
Oh,
and I'd be
same.
like writing short stories. I'd be like,
Oh, yeah.
I don't want to use this word.
You like take a boring adjective, make it sexy with thesaurus.com.
But of course, then sometimes you'd use the wrong type of word because it doesn't actually
It just doesn't
articulate
fit.
what you're
It
trying
sounds
to say
like
the
it
same
does,
way.
but it
Yeah.
doesn't. I got mad respect for the guys that were able to write like that back in like the 1600s when when thesauruses were like, you know, not a big popular
It's
thing.
like you had to go to the district library.
They had to be educated to write like that, dude.
And like look at a book that was chained to a post.
Yeah. Or like I saw a book somewhere that was chained like to a thing, and I think it was a dictionary at
Yeah.
some like maybe it was at like the some like national library in Washington D.C. or something, but it was like 3 feet big, and it was like the biggest book I've ever seen. I said, that's a big book. I can't read that whole thing.
That is a big book.
That's a huge book.
I'm trying to think of the biggest book I've ever seen. I'm thinking back. The Bible, it's a big book, but it's not that big. You know what I mean? Like, there's a lot to it. It's a boring book, but like it's not thick. Like, you don't look at it and you're like, oh, that would take that's a reader, let me tell you.
I couldn't. It's over 2,000 pages. I can't read that.
I feel like the Goblet of Fire is longer than the Bible.
Well, the thing about the size of the print, Goblet of Fire's got bigger print and more space, and the Bible's got like tiny print and tiny spacing. It's 2,000 something pages. Like, woo!
Also not entertaining. It's not an entertaining 2,000 pages. They have little sparse moments of being entertained, and then they have it's just kind of like reading Shakespeare when you don't know the like certain cadences and
dude, that's hard. Reading Shakespeare is I remember in high school when I had to like read a Shakespeare book, I'd read like a page and be like, what the fuck did they just say?
And like the English teacher, like, I'm like, why do we have to learn this old English? Like, students in the class are barely literate as it is. Like, like, why are we studying this? Like, teach people how to actually use the language in which we speak today.
Let me read Fun with Dick and Jane or something. Like,
I feel like English class should have focused more on kind of maybe even go into the history of our language so we can get to the stems and roots. Because it's like, we're learning stems today, we're learning vocab, but they never tied it together for me in this seamless kind of line that I think when you're learning something helps a lot. Like, you progress in a certain way. Like with math, you have to learn things to progress to the next level. In English, it was like, let's learn some words, let's read a book every now and then.
Yeah.
But I think it would have been better if they built upon the language more in terms of the way I was taught. In my way, it was very haphazard the way I was taught.
Man, I actually had to read some really good stuff for my AP Lit class. Because oh my god, I took an AP Lit class in high school, and the teacher was I've never had a teacher that gave that much reading. Like
no, it sucked. I was in an AP.
I'm trying to remember reading.
I can't remember what year I was in AP Lit, but I just remember that was the time where I think we read Animal House and The Odyssey, and we just read a bunch of classics, and like we also read some new stuff. It was just basically the whole class was read a book, take a test on that book.
Exactly.
Read a book,
Yeah. Did you have to annotate the pages?
Yep.
I had to annotate the pages, and like I don't. That when you require annotation like that, no one takes it seriously.
We were supposed to.
Yeah, you just write.
bullshit my
exactly. Like
annotations.
I don't think a single
underlined them,
person
like, important character. And
yeah,
like, shit
stuff like that. or just like wow.
Yeah, wow.
But
what? An animal. What did I say? Animal House when I said reading a book?
You did say Animal House.
Animal House.
Like the movie?
No, not the movie. What am I thinking of? Animal Barn. What's the fucking book called?
I know what you're talking
It's a big
about.
political book, and they use pigs and farm animals.
I know what you're talking about, and it's not Animal
It's
House.
not. I know Animal House is the fucking goofy
It's like the
movie where the guy
college
climbs
movie.
up on the ladder, sees boobies, and goes doom, and then he falls down.
Yeah, it's based on the classic book.
What is it?
No.
Farm.
The barnyard.
Book.
Back to the barnyard.
Book about farm animals.
It's
communism.
Is it about?
It's about farm animals and communism. Animal Farm.
Animal Farm. Okay, not Animal House.
Animal House.
I bet there's so many people who said Animal House were like, oh, Ryan.
I know.
Oh man, I knew that AP Lit class was gonna suck when I got my summer reading list, and all the books were over 500 pages, and it was pick 3. Well, I had to pick 2, and then one of them was required, and it was like 600 or 700 pages.
I remember going like, do they really expect me to read 3 books?
I was like, holy shit, I cannot read this much like over the summer, and then I had to. And summer reading always turned to the thing where it's like the last 2 weeks of summer.
Yeah.
You just have to sit and read books, and
Or
it's
the
like
Cliff Notes or Spark Notes.
I was too scared to use those because I'm like, I'm gonna get off to such a bad start. I did though.
For me, not with summer reading. I used those for summer reading, but I didn't use those as much. I used them like twice later in high school.
Yeah.
But like I didn't use them for the major books we were reading in class. I'd actually read those. Or like I liked it when we all read in the class and the teacher went along and explained
yeah, that's
things
cool.
to us.
I remember like, oh man, Spark Notes. I think that's why teachers had you do annotations, was because it's like, then you have to go page by page.
Mm-hmm.
And even if you do fake it, it's like, it just makes it that much harder. So you might as well read it.
Yeah.
Like I like reading. I really do. I need to do it more. Like I just need more good books. I was in Barnes & Noble last night and I was just looking at all the books and I'm like, man, I want more books. I just don't know like what's good or you know, where to start.
Have you read The Road?
I have not read The Road.
It's an easy read and I think it's really good.
I know. It's your favorite book. What's
Yeah.
my favorite book, Ryan? I've said it a million times, man.
Your fate. Hold on.
Come on, Ryan.
Hold on.
I knew your favorite book, The Road by Cormac McCarthy. Why don't you know mine?
Because your favorite book is fucking. Hold on. I know it. The Boxcart Kids.
Dude, how did you know?
Dude,
I didn't expect you to remember. I love the Boxcar
What is your
Kids.
favorite book?
Norwegian Wood.
See, I can't remember that because I don't know who wrote it. I don't have a
Haruki Murakami.
I don't know who that is.
He's a super famous author. He's so good.
Is he as famous as fucking Tolkien, dude?
But Tolkien has more years behind him.
Is he bigger than Where the Sidewalk Ends, man?
You don't even know his name. So
He looks weird. He looks scary.
Shel Silverstein.
Yeah.
Yeah, he does look a little weird.
It's a jump scare every time you turn to the back of the book.
Ah!
No, I'm here.
He's at the end of the sidewalk. You get to the end of the sidewalk and he's, hey. Yeah, I love Shel Silverstein.
Okay, so Norwegian Wood.
Norwegian Wood. I have a hard time saying the word Norwegian. I always want to say Norwegian. I want to say Norwegian.
The Norwegian.
Norwegian Wood's a good book.
The
It's
Nordic
really sad.
region.
And also my second favorite book, if not tied with Norwegian Wood, is After the Quake, also by Haruki Murakami.
After the Quake.
It's a collection of short stories. Yeah, I read it, the whole thing on a plane, and I was like, it's so fucking good, dude.
Yeah.
I have a lot of other favorite books. I remember I read this book in high school I really liked called Half Brother, and it was about this like family that adopted a chimp, tried to teach it sign language. And I just remember I really liked it when I read it. It was like, I thought it was super good.
I read a bunch of sad dog books. I had a phase where like I just read books about dogs because I wanted a puppy of my own.
So
even though I already had a dog, I just wanted a puppy. I wanted a beagle specifically.
How great would it be to, like, if they had a little pill you could give a puppy and make it stay, like in Everstone or whatever in Pokemon, where you can keep your puppy a puppy forever.
I wish I could go back in time and see Lego as a puppy because I'll never have that experience of knowing what he looked like as a young boy.
But he was cute. I bet you can get a professional Photoshopper to Photoshop him down.
I mean, I've seen dogs that look eerily similar to him, and then I've seen their puppy pictures, and I'm like, oh, he would look so cute. It's just a little ball of fur, a little blonde ball of fur, so cute.
Dude, he would have been I know, dude, he would have been the cutest puppy ever.
He'd have been such a dopey little. I have to think that he was like the runt of his litter. 100%.
You know what I like about German Shepherds is they have that thing where like when they're puppies, their ears are down.
Yeah.
And then one day they just go up and then they don't go back down. So it's
Yeah.
like, that's like a milestone.
Yep.
Just like, whoop. That's cute.
His ears are big. He's got some big old ears.
big ass ears.
When his
dude.
ears go back, they like go up and then go down at an angle. I don't know how to explain it. It's like a sharp. It looks like a pyramid.
I know what you're talking about. In fact, look at this picture today. I have this
That's
picture.
like when he's like guilty of something. I'm like Lego. He goes, ooh.
I love how dogs like feel guilt.
Do they feel guilt, or is that like a misconception? Is that
I don't know. It seems like they know when they've done something wrong because they have that look on their face, and like even if you don't call them out on it, like you can tell they've done something because they look guilty.
Because there'd be times where I'd be like, "What did you do?" And I'd go search around and I'd find it and be like, "Lego."
Yep.
And then he'd be watching me to see if I saw it, and then as soon as I do, he'd like turn away as when I looked at him, I'd be like,
Meanwhile, my cat can just shit on the floor and just not even care.
Banana was mean to me, dude.
Was he mean to you?
He was mean to me
when I was
for
in
the
Texas
first
and you
time
went and
in a
checked on
long
him?
time.
What'd he do?
I don't know. He was just meowing, and I don't know if it's because like he misses the fat Ryan.
He doesn't recognize you anymore. He's like that. He's the opposite of that YouTube commenter that was like, I miss the old skinny Ryan.
Yeah.
Banana misses the old fat Ryan. By the way, look at this picture of Lego. This is a year ago today.
That's a good picture.
We put sunglasses on Ryan's dog and he looks all goofy. It's a
Wow,
great
that's
picture.
A lot of hair.
Ryan, you should put this in. You should put this in the podcast so people can see it right now on screen.
Send it to me.
Here it is, everyone. Take a look at Ryan's doofy dog with some sunglasses on.
Lego is such a good pup.
He's a good dog.
Love him to death.
He keeps doesn't he keep breaking your screen door though?
Twice so far, yes.
He just runs straight through it.
Yeah, but also it's like partially my fault because I should, knowing Lego and knowing like dogs in general, like dogs are gonna be like, wait, you have to wait for the screen door.
Yeah, but a dog's not gonna know what a screen door is, especially
Yeah.
if they're vision. You can't really see it that
he's
well.
ready to just bolt out of there and go to the restroom and shit. And it's just like, so it's partly my fault, but I do get severely pissed off whenever he does it, and I'm trying to not forget,
dude.
To
There's nothing funnier to me than when a child runs full speed into a sliding glass door. It's so funny.
Dum.
Just boom, and then they like fall back, and they're just like
their whole the reality is so like, what is going on?
You can see the look on their face, like their brain is trying to process what just happened. They're like, because like that's such a, I've done that before, run into a glass door. My friend did that and ran straight through it.
Dude, speaking of like things that are hard to comprehend, like this deal at who is this one?
This is for if you want to find some love. Love is hard to comprehend.
eHarmony.
If you're trying online dating, chances are you've run into, lazy text messages, dead in conversation.
Food, or did she not order food to be delivered?
Ryan, do you think the listeners have any idea what you're talking about right now?
Yeah, they know who Stella is.
Do you think they care?
Stella's great. I love Stella.
Stella is wonderful. She's but like after the last ad read, actually, I said I was gonna go get a Coke, and then
we never did. So let's take this time to take a break. We'll be right back. Fuck.
We're back. We had some lunch. Boy, was it tasty.
Yep.
You actually, no, you didn't eat lunch, did you?
I had a pretzel stick and some Skittles.
A pretzel stick and some Skittles?
Like a few Skittles.
Give me a high five for that one,
I just didn't feel like a wrap today. I was like,
I feel you, man. Sometimes you just get, you're not feeling it. You can't force yourself to feel it. But, guys, we wanted to tell you something. Got a little announcement. A fun little announcement for you.
Super Mega Land is on the way.
Yes, we finally got the okay to start construction on our very own theme park, guys. So fucking excited.
Yep, it's going to be actually attached to Disney World, which is super exciting because we were afraid that they would not be we didn't think they were going to be as accepting as they were of the Super Mega brand.
They were actually, which leads us into the bigger announcement. We have been bought by Disney.
Yep.
Super Mega has been attained by Disney, guys. We cannot be more excited.
We're gonna have our own cinematic universe, which means that the movie review guys, they're gonna create their own movie. So we're gonna have a movie review series sponsored by Disney, where we review all the best Disney movies that come out: Star Wars, Marvel films, 3D animated cash cows for children.
Hey, you might even see us in some of those. We might even be able to go to the Disney headquarters and maybe do a little thing here and there and get ourselves in one of those movies.
Yeah. But in reality, the actual announcement is
we are going to be at a convention. So guys, drum roll please. All of you out there going like, oh God, please be the convention I'm thinking of. Oh God. Oh! We are going to Anime Expo in Los Angeles, July 5th through the 8th. We're not going to be there the whole time, or maybe we will.
We'll announce the days that we're going to be there.
Yeah,
we're gonna have a booth.
Yeah, so you can come meet us at the booth. Come say hey. Come get some. We're going to be selling some really cool original prints.
Take some pictures of us. We'll be in a big glass box.
With hazmat suits because we don't want to get sick. Dude, I'm actually terrified of getting sick from Anime Expo because when I went to E3, I got like the worst. Oh God, it sucked. I got like the flu or something. That sucked. I got sick after another convention.
Did you get sick after the one where I stuck my fingers in your mouth?
Surprisingly, no.
See, maybe I was helping you. Like your body.
You're growing my immune system.
Yeah, exactly. The more disgusting you are, the more your immune system adapts to a disgusting environment.
That's probably true. I mean, dude, like we shook hands for what, like 2 hours straight?
Yeah.
And then you hadn't washed them, and you went and put your fingers right in my mouth.
Yeah.
For the funny haha.
Yeah.
And
I was funny haha.
I was thinking just Jesus Christ, Ryan. Oh my God. Dude, what if I contracted like Ebola or something?
Why would I have Ebola?
No, like you shook hands with someone that had Ebola and then gave it to me. What if you gave me AIDS or something, dude?
I'm not gonna give you AIDS.
AIDS is transferred through handshake.
Through fingerprints on the tongue. But yeah, so we're gonna be at Anime Expo. We'd love to meet anyone who's going to be there. We will update you guys. Follow our Twitter. As we're also going to update through there on specific days and times that we're going to be, I'm sure, as it gets closer, because it's not till July.
Yeah, it's July 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th.
Yeah.
We, not sure when exactly we're going to be at the booth. Will be there all 4 days. We're only going to be at the booth for certain periods of time. So we will update you as.
Hey guys, we're gonna end the stream here today because it is getting close to our cutoff time. that I usually set, which is like around 2 hours and sometimes 3 hours. But anyways, thank you guys for watching. Make sure you hit the subscribe button and share the video when the VOD comes out. I don't know. You don't really have to share the VOD. I'm just saying you should just subscribe and turn on notifications if you're new here. Anyways, you know what? I'm gonna have I have plans coming up. I'm gonna have an HDMI cord coming in that I can plug into my monitor. Well, I can plug into my PC that basically allows me to use my GoPros for recording video. So no more of the shitty Logitech web camera that I have whenever I want to show my camera. And also I'll be able to have this really long cord that I can like walk around the room with and whatnot. So that'd be really cool. Anyways, thank you for watching, and yeah, peace, and I'll be out.